breath at night and wait for the Washington-Philadelphia game, see how that one would turn out. Daniel Jones early, a beautiful touchdown pass here, caught, score. That was Dante Pettis, who's come on a little bit late in the season here, former second-round pick for the 49ers. Cowboys would come back. Ezekiel Elliott fighting, gets in the end zone. We've got a one-score game late. Zeke with those cool cameras talking. Now, Andy Dalton looking, minute 23 left. Leonard, Big Cat Williams gets in his face, and then it's an interception. The Giants, they think the game is on ice. Wayne Gallman would make it a little tricky with a fumble, but he does recover it. The Giants fans were humming Carrie Underwood for a couple hours there, thinking they had a shot for Sunday night and some magic. But, Kyle, what happened?
Well, Doug Peterson until he cheats and puts in the backup quarterback. Let's find out.
Well done.
Whoa, bro.
14 to 10. He scratched his name into the leather seats and everything. He wrote Sudfeld with the key. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, boy.
Slashed the tires, took the Louisville Slugger to their season. All that. What am I talking about? There's Jalen Hurts. Throws incomplete on the 4th and goal. It's all right. He has 2 rushing touchdowns. He's looked really good and put up historic numbers for a rookie coming off the bench. Speaking of the bench, that's where his butt's going to be sitting now because Doug Peterson said, we think Nate Sudfeld gives us the best chance to win. Even though he hasn't had a snap since 2018, and that was in mop-up duty, also Week 17 against Washington. There's an interception. He also had a fumble on a snap, and Jalen Hurts never played again. The Eagles lose, which means the Giants lose, which means Washington and Ron Rivera is in the playoffs.
Jalen Hurts' face on the sideline. I need a picture of that. All right, let's go. Falcons, Buccaneers, Tom Brady, 299th regular season start. That passes Brett Favre for the most in NFL history. Mike Evans, the first player in NFL history to start off his career with consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, 7 of them. He is an absolute legend. Shout out to my guy, Mike Evans. But it was good, and there was bad. What do I mean by that? Evans would go down, and you're going to see it right here. Tom Brady actually hits him in the numbers, but he awkwardly steps with his left leg. He actually tries to get up. He crumbles. This was a sad sight because once a guy crumbles to the ground, you're thinking to yourself, this has to be bad. Watch his left leg. It slips. Looks like a hyperextension, and if that's it, if that's the extent of it, that's a good thing. We don't know right now, so we will keep you posted. We do know he had a 1,000-yard season, 13 TDs, and he's one of the best receivers in the business. All right, let's keep this thing going. Tom Brady, though, he was willing and dealing, man. He hits his wide receiver, Chris Godwin. He had a couple of touchdowns on the day. And Antonio Brown was making plays. Speaking of Antonio Brown, they're up by 10. Check him out. Time in the pocket, Tom Brady. And then you see Antonio Brown. He walks the line like Johnny Cash, and he gets on in the end zone.
Nice.
Got it. That offense is cooking. I know we talk about it all the time. Who's playing well right before the playoffs? Well, you know what? It's Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Bruce Arians has these guys focused. They win this one convincingly. 44-27 with 11-5 record to finish off the regular season. Speaking of the head coach, let's hear from Bruce Arians on Tom Brady playing his best ball.
I think he broke Peyton Manning's record for first being with the first team, throwing 40 touchdowns. I think Peyton had 37. So I know he'll like that. Peyton will be pissed. But, I mean, when we first met, that's really what we talked about. The guys that we have and what he could do with the players that we have. Adding Robbie Gronkowski to the mix just helped. But, you know, and I envisioned 40. I really did.
Bucs are 11-5, finish the season that way. They travel to a 7-9 Washington football team in the wild card round. That game Saturday night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. That is on NBC. I double-checked. I'm a little scared, Nate, of these Bucs. I wasn't scared of them when they were inconsistent, but they're finding some kind of rhythm at the right time. They have won 4 straight. Those are crazy numbers. They're the 3rd-ranked offense behind only the Packers and the Bills for the past month. A little scary.
I'd say a lot scary, Kay.
What do you think of their matchup against Washington?
I like their matchup against anybody at this point in the season. They have Tom Brady, who has more experience in the playoffs than any other quarterback. A group of wide receivers. We'll see what happens with Mike Evans. That's making plays. And the one thing I love about this wide receiver group, they're different sizes, different styles, different speeds. So they don't just have a whole bunch of the same dude. They have a big frame like Chris Godwin. If Mike Evans is healthy, we know what he can do. Antonio Brown, Scotty Miller, and Robbie. Is he talking about Gronkowski? Robbie.
Belichick never robbied him.
Yeah, never robbied him. That just shows you the type of chemistry. Yeah, you know, I feel like it is that. It's chemistry. It's like chemistry class. It's the matter and the bonds and the elements and the winning structure that they're building.
And talent.
And they're finally passing the one class that they struggle with. which was gaining that chemistry, and
They're
that's
good on
why
the physics.
and that's why I like the Brady-led Bucs up against anybody right now.
Yeah, Tom Brady just finished the regular season with 4,633 passing yards.
So crazy.
40 touchdown passes and 12 interceptions. If you just look at that number and said 11-5, and we didn't have Derrick Henry and Mahomes, you'd say that's a surefire Hall of Fame MVP season. 4,600 passing yards and 40 touchdowns at 43. It's never been done before. It looks better now than he did in September, October, November.
Oh, yeah.
And before you say, yeah, but they beat the Falcons gave the Chiefs everything they could handle a week earlier. Yeah, but they beat the Lions. The Rams lost to the Jets. Like, no excuses are needed. No yeah buts. This team is as playing as any team in football. They're playing as well as any team in football. And I know we've got a lot of teams in the NFC. I don't know where I punched my ticket or how I can pay for it, but if it's Brady versus Rodgers in Lambeau for the NFC Championship game, I will be there. I don't care. I'm just going to break all the protocols. I will be there.
You're going to break the protocols?
Yes,
hazmat suit.
Like with their hair on fire, baby.
I'll be in a hazmat suit and I'll be there.
Like outbreak?
I got to see that one.
Okay. Listen, Brady's got to get through Washington first. Listen, if I'm trying to think of a team that would scare Tom Brady, I'd be like, who do we have to play? I want a veteran quarterback who's just as fearless as he is.
Keep going. Keep going.
I want everything about Washington's D-line is so scary. They're even named like Pain and Sweat. I don't want any part of that.
Chase.
Yes, Chase, Pain, and Sweat. I think Tom Brady has anything to do with that. Yeah. However, I will say, you're talking about chemistry and everything. The biggest compliment I can give the Bucs right now is I think in a lot of other situations, with what happened with Mike Evans, we'd be all like, oh, they're screwed. If Mike Evans can't play, they can't win. They're so loaded. We're like, if Mike